If you're thinking, are my fingers long enough and my hands strong enough for the guitar? I've got a couple answers for you. If you haven't subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button and the bell to be notified of every single time I make a guitar video. So one of the questions that I get all the time from students and clients is, are my hands strong enough? Are my fingers long enough to play? Are my hands too weak? Are my fingers too short? Are they too fat? Will I only be able to play acoustic, or will I only be able to play electric if my hands, not strong enough? And this turns people off from playing the guitar almost immediately when they look at, somebody who's maybe got long fingers or like easy dexterity. And I want to clear up a couple of those issues here. Okay, so I got some news for you when playing the guitar. It doesn't matter how short, how long, how weak, your hands are, your fingers, it won't prevent you from playing the guitar. I have met so many guitar players over the years that have longer fingers than me, have shorter fingers than me, have smaller hands, have fatter fingers, and they are awesome and are a lot better players than I will ever be. And if you want some more proof, here's a guy playing guitar with his toes and he sounds awesome. Okay, so playing guitar has more to do with feeling. It's got to do with the actual feeling of your hands underneath the strings and on the fretboard, and gaining that feeling as muscle memory. You see, it doesn't matter how fat the fingers are or small, or how short the hand is, or it's got to do with the feeling that you can feel and then being able to create that pinpoint accuracy with the pressure. So when we talk about strength in the hands, it does matter how weak and strong the hand is, not particularly in the beginning, because this type of strength that we talk about when playing guitar isn't just like brute force strength from gymming, although that helps. It's from building that coordination with repetitive motion and repetitive practice over time. So you'll build that strength and you'll build that feeling and you'll build that dexterity in the fingers. So if you've had any success or failures in your playing with regards to finger size or hand strength, I'd love to hear more about that in the comment section. Okay, so the thing that I love most about playing the guitar is there's always a way around any limitations. It's one of the best things, and the reason is with music is because things can be arranged in such a circular formation. So if you've got the main key is to take your disadvantage and to make it your advantage. So if you've got like a real small hand or like small fingers, you've got to you may just have to do a couple of different things where you may have to create like a bit more of a cup underneath the neck in order to stretch a little further. If you've got like a really big hand, Hendrix had a really big hand, so he was always over the top of the neck, so he had his thumb over the top. I'll show you a couple in the example. Or if your fingers were too fat, you may just have to arrange the chords in a slightly different way and play them just slightly differently. But that limitation you're always able to get over it. So recognizing a couple of the limitations is, a couple of your limitations is super key, and in turning them into your disadvantages into your advantages. For example, like Hendrix with the thumb over the top, the hand being bigger. If you look at someone like Randy Rhoads from Ozzy Osbourne, his hand was really small, and he was incredibly quick and just, one of the greatest players that ever lived. If you look at a guy like Slash, hardly ever used his pinky and recognized like his pinky was kind of a weak force in his playing, but still, some of the best solos and guitar playing that, this world's kind of ever seen. And so that's one of the key things, is to identify what your disadvantage is and then flip it into your advantage and then move things around to make it work. You can kind of go back on the internet or on YouTube and just watch a whole bunch of guitar players that you may love, and you may pick up on their technique and see what they're using more and less of, and look at the size of their hands and see how they fit in the chords in. So if you need a bit more help with some of the techniques and some of the exercises, I'll leave a link in the description. Download the free videos, they should be able to help you a bit more with that. Or if you want an in-depth kind of transition in your guitar playing, going from zero to an advanced player and having those holes filled in, check out my guitar course. I'll leave a link in the description to that too. Also, be sure to check out this video next. I'll leave a link in the description to that video. But otherwise, until then, peace.